You hit play already on there? Turn your guys' mics on. All right. We're good. We're good to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode. I'm your host, Stephen G. Gaxiola, and you are listening to the Raider and the Saint podcast.
Oh, I feel so claustrophobic. Everything's all fucking on top of me. Stupid one. I'll take care of that. Don't worry about it.
Here isn't up to it, I'm going to give you one last chance to walk out that door right now. That's a good one, Todd. Good! That's what I wanted to hear.
Doing so many things I want.
Silver slice of heaven here at 1,984 ounces of beer. Golden, delicious beer. And no one leaves here until we finish every single last drop.
And we are back once again, folks. Once again, I want to thank all my listeners from around the world that tune in every week to the Raider Saint podcast. I love you guys. I just talked to you guys yesterday. That podcast hasn't been uploaded yet. It will be uploaded shortly because this is we're on Sunday. Today's date is May 18th. So I got two podcasts. I'll be uploading one from yesterday. I started doing video again. This episode I'm going to be doing is video as well. So we're going to get video and audio. Everything will be on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio. Yeah. So we got all those coming on. So I want to thank you guys for all the support, man. We've been doing this for many years, and we're always changing. As you can see, if you're on camera, I'm working a lot of different things. I'm looking at levels and all this, but it's fine. I love what I do, man. This is what I guess I was born to do. Besides being a UPS driver. Info about the podcast. If you guys are looking to be on the show, have questions, suggestions, comments, you can get a hold of me at theraiderandthesaint.com. That is theraiderandthesaint.com. Also, you can hit me up, email, theraiderandthesaint@outlook.com. That is theraiderandthesaint@outlook.com. Yeah, if you go on theraiderandthesaint.com, that's just going to take you to my link tree, and I'll take you to all my links, everything, wherever I'm at. But you also can get a hold of me on Instagram, Facebook. I rarely check Facebook. I'm trying to grow Facebook now, but Instagram, you can check me on Instagram. Just hit me a message and I'll respond. But I want to thank you guys, man. I want to thank all the listeners. And I know I took a couple weeks off. Just trying to revamp the show, trying to redo things. And I'm always trying to just try different things. So we're trying this for now, and I like the Rode app that we have with the video qualities coming out. I sent it to a couple people yesterday on my episode. I'm not posted it yet on YouTube, but I was able to send it to some people, just a rough draft, just a basic, how's the quality, how's it look, and everyone said it looks good, sounds good, so I'm happy for that. So this is the second show we're going to be doing video, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited for today's podcast. Like I said, I am a podcaster. I know people know me as Stephen Gaxiola, who supports Solidarity Slate. I do support the Solidarity Slate. But here, I'm a podcaster. And people need to figure that out because I get tired of people being pissed off. Why'd you have him on his show? Fuck him. Fuck him. I'm like, dude, this is a podcast, and I'm a podcaster. And this podcast means a lot to me. But when people try to separate me and then my podcast, I have to do my due diligence. I'm not fucking Fox News. I'm not CNN. I'm not going to just stay one-sided. Okay? I'm going to have to listen to everybody. And I know there's people that I have to have on the show that I disagree of how they're running things, but I have to do my due diligence as a podcaster. Okay? I'm a podcaster and I'm here. When you guys see me at work, I'm Stephen Gaxiola. But here, I'm a podcaster, and I have to do what I'm supposed to do, right? I got to give you guys all the sides. So today, I'm honored and happy to have the Dignity and Pride Slate. I have to my right, if you want to pan over to him, I got Juan Vasquez. He was running for president. He is a UPS Teamster for 29 years, shop steward since 2014, business agent nearly 2 years, elected delegate in 2021. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. And to my left, I got Danny Herbert, who's running for Secretary Treasury. He's the current vice president for Local 952. He's a 30-year Teamster, a business agent for 5+ years, 10-year shop steward, elected delegate in 2021. And I'll throw in there, too, he just got Southern Wine, a really great contract when I was there, a really great contract. So you guys, welcome to the show. It's an honor to have you guys here. What is going on?
Thank you for having us, brother.
Yes, thank you.
So go ahead and introduce yourself. Talk a little bit about yourself. Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Juan.
Well, like you mentioned, my name is Juan Vasquez. I've been with UPS now for 29, going into 30 years. Been a shop steward since 2014. So, I know some of the issues that are going on. Business agent for almost 2. I'll speak on that a little later. And, yeah.
Okay. Danny, talk a little bit about yourself,
Hey,
man.
Danny Herbert.
In the house?
I come from Local 630 originally. I came over with the Albertsons merger. I was a shop steward over there for a while. Came over to Local 952. It didn't take us long to get acclimated with the industry and the policy and the politics over there. And yeah, I mean, because we were so proactive at Local 630, it took us no time to get right back into the fight over at 952. So,
So, man, we got 2 slates now. We got the Solidarity Slate, which I've known for many years, and we have the Dignity and Pride Slate. What made you guys decide, hey, let's start our own slate?
well, for me, working at the local, I learned a lot. I may have not have left on the best terms, but it was definitely a learning experience for me. I met a lot of great people. I learned a lot. Unfortunately, when we started, it was during COVID, so right at the beginning of COVID, in fact. So our initial training was very limited. But during that whole campaign time, right before we got into office, I really didn't know that much about Pat Kelly or Grant or any of the players that was already there outside of what we were being told. So anybody who knows me know that slandering and talking bad on people is just not it's never really been my character or my style.
Yeah.
So, and I'm definitely not going to speak against some people that I didn't know at all. So, unfortunately, I did show a sign of weakness early on and started drinking the Kool-Aid and listening to what people were saying, how people's character was, and eventually I woke up. I'm not into inheriting other people's beefs. I'm into letting people prove who they are based on how I deal with them. And, I focus more on representing the members versus beefs with individuals.
Yeah.
But as far as us running a slate, there were some things, there are some directions going on at Local 952 that I feel I would like to take in a different direction. We made ample amount of progress as an administration from the time we got in office, but I didn't necessarily agree with every decision that was made or every angle that we approached stuff from, and I felt I can do better.
Okay. Yeah. And then how do you guys know each other?
Well, we know each other because of me being a business agent in the beginning.
Okay.
When Eric won, in current administration, when they won the first time, I was interviewed by Eric and was hired on to be a business agent to represent UPS. And Danny and I, we've always, our thing has always been pretty much the same.
Yeah.
The way our thoughts, the way we would like to see the local run has always, from the get-go, has always been the same. And
how was that? How do you see, like, how would you run the local different compared to Eric?
the difference is we definitely want to see, obviously, better representation, right? We want every member to feel they're being heard, whether their issue is small or big, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you may like me or not, you need to be heard. Not pushed to the side because you don't quote unquote support me.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that's what's going on right now. Unless you're with them, you're not going to get the proper representation that you deserve, and that's very unfortunate. Being out of Laguna, talking to some of the members there, they've been very outspoken, and I've been hearing them out, and I've been listening to what their issues are, and
Mm-hmm.
and what they want to see different. When you're a business agent, we have to be very neutral. We have
Mm-hmm.
to be conscious of the members and what their complaints are, and try to help them out, whether it's contractual or personal, it doesn't matter. That's what we are. We represent them to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, right now, we don't feel that's what's going on. And the members are very outspoken, and they have mentioned that. And also, financially as well. The local's not going in the right direction. That's my personal feel.
Yeah.
Is it's not going in the right direction either. I mean, the selling of the rentals.
I disagree with that either. That too. I mean, let me talk a bit about that too. I mean, before we go there, you're selling properties and saying you're losing money on it, dude. If you got so many supporters, have those supporters show up. I'm sure one of them's a plumber, one of them knows how to paint, one of them knows how to do drywall. Everyone's got different skills. We all come from different barns. You know what I mean? I live in a home over here. We're always doing upgrades. Everybody's some type of skills. Save some money. And then have an event or something at the apartment. Hey, dude, we're all going to meet at the apartment complex, and we're going to meet up. We're going to talk a little bit, and then everyone's going to be assigned. And, dude, make a day out of it and feed people instead of taking them out to the bars or whatever you guys do with the union money. Invest into a property that's going to constantly give you money every month, not just sell it.
Correct.
You know what I mean? There's so many people which I'd show up. What do you need me to do? You need me to paint? I don't want to paint, but fuck, I'll do it.
Right.
You need me to go pick up trash? I mean, I'll bring my wife. She's handy, more handy than me. If you look at this, she built this whole fence right here. Everything you look around, my wife's built everything. So we got skills. Like, I would just hey, dude, let's just make a day out of it. Get the in and out truck here, whatever. I mean, dude, you're going to save thousands of dollars because members show up to support you. But we turn around and we sell it. They're saying it's a burden. And come on, dude. If you got so much support, I mean, if you can call so many people in a flash to go to a rally, just have them show up to fucking clean up an apartment complex.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Am I wrong?
No. You're right. And the thing is that we all have to understand is, he also mentioned that we're not in the real estate business. But
we're in but we're in the making money business.
Thank you. That's what I was going to get at. Is at the end of the day, we're any smart businessman will tell you, renting property and having a side of having residual income.
Yeah,
is a smart move. Whatever it is that we're able to bring money into our local to help us. That's the point.
I mean, you think that's true, or he's just doing it because he's running out of money? Everything he's spending.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know, and that's something that I can't speak on, fully because I don't know what his reason is for selling the property. He did mention in one of the general memberships meeting is we're not in the real estate business, but we have to think outside the box. We have to think outside the box.
We need to get money somehow.
Correct.
Not every, unless you're going to start raising everyone's union dues.
We'll put it this way: it's kind of like the pension, right? The pension for the western region. It's strong. Why is it strong? It's not just strong because of the members' money being put in as savings. It's being invested.
Yeah.
If it wasn't invested, we wouldn't have the strongest pension nationwide.
Yeah.
It's like because they're thinking outside the box. What are we going to tell them? Why you investing our money? We're not investors. We're Teamsters. That wouldn't make any sense.
Did we vote on it? Or were we allowed to vote on it if he's allowed to sell it? Or he just can do it?
No, we voted on it
Okay.
on the general membership meeting. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed. I wish they would have put an announcement out, so that more people can show up and, whoever disagreed with it can speak up and say. But unfortunately, that's not the way it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, I would have went somewhere different with that, but he's the boss. We voted him in, so we support him for that.
Yeah.
All right.
And I would add to that when you say, what would you do different? The transparency part is very important. Keeping our members in the dark or not telling them everything up front or letting them have a true voice on operations at the local, as far as when you're in a board meeting and make a motion for something, I still feel the members should actually be able to vote on it. That's just my opinion.
I need you to get that mic closer, brother.
Okay.
I need to hear you. I know.
Is that better?
Okay. Yeah, I need to hear you. I mean, I'll be
Yeah.
able to change it post, but I want to be able to hear it.
Yeah, so
right now.
I mean that's just one of many things that I probably would do different. Mostly all decisions, I would be more comfortable with running them across the members, letting them have a vote on it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, our members need to continue being proactive and show up at the meetings. And I mean, most of these things are being read. Most of these issues that people have issues with are being brought to the table at general membership meetings, and members can show up and voice their opinion on them under new business at any time. Now, I know that right now I've been getting a lot of phone calls from members from different companies about a imitation and an intimidating environment at the local. And I can't speak for everybody. I know I am a lone wolf up there, it looks like, with everybody against me. This is feedback that I'm getting from the members. You sit on one side of the stage, the executive board sit on the other side of the stage. Nobody speaks to you. These are text messages I get from members that I didn't even have those accounts. So regardless of how it looks on the surface, I'm totally fine. Now, I'm not worried about any individual or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm there because I was voted in by the members to be on the executive board, to be the vice president. I had no problems returning back to work in Irvine. That was a yard I came out of. And I got a overwhelming amount of support from the members when I did return back to work, because these are the guys that I represented. And when I say from the members, that means from all three slates that's running. The political environment in Irvine is just totally different than any other facility.
How many members are out of that barn?
I think we got about 1,700 total out of Brea and Irvine.
Okay.
In there, somewhere in there.
1,700, okay.
Don't quote me on those numbers.
No, I'm not going to quote you.
Automation has sunk in, so.
I'm not going to quote you. I'm
we
going to
are-
hold you to those numbers. No, I'm
we
just
are,
kidding.
we are slowly losing and gaining members due to attrition.
Yeah.
People are retiring and they're not hiring. People are getting fired and they're not hiring. But at the same time, we started seeing new part-timers come in. So in a minute, we have part-time, full-time ratio language in our contract, so we'll never get to the point to like UPS where they have more part-timers.
Mm-hmm.
But that automation has definitely changed the industry as far as grocery.
Yeah. With automation and everything, there's a lot of things going on, but has a local, I mean, I know there's some people that, I follow a lot of people on Instagram that support the member slate, and they're friends of mine. I consider them brothers and sisters of mine, even though we support different slates. They're still my brothers and sisters. I love them. If they ever needed me, they can call me. I'll be there. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we just support different slates. But I see them do posts like they're, behind the machines, the automated machines, and they're working the automated machines. I could say that, or can we say that, like we have helped, these members, instead of losing their jobs, being able to tell the company, hey, look at no, you're gonna teach these guys how to use the machines.
So one of the things that I was part of while I was still the business agent, I was a business agent who actually filed the grievance to get automation for the company to come to the table to discuss automation in Irvine. So I was in part of the committee that sat down with the company. I was a part of the investigation crew who went to Arizona, who went to Chicago, and did research on the effects of automation in those industries before it was implemented in Irvine. And when I went back to work, I did actually sign up. Well, the first 33 members to be Teamsters to do Symbiotic Works, I actually did sign up.
Wow.
It was 9 weeks of basically a crash course in civil engineer training. And yeah, we all got certificates for it. And we end up getting that work, making that union
Yes.
work. I even
Yeah.
asked the people from the company, are we the first Teamsters that they ever trained, or union people, period? And they say, yeah. So I think that was a huge accomplishment for the Teamsters as a whole. I don't feel that our administration gave those guys as much attention for what they achieved as they should have, probably because they would have had to pat me on the back as well. And I don't think that was in their heart at the time. So, but I wanted to bring it up. Those guys did do it. They walked in there with all the odds against them. You know, they was certain that Teamsters would not be able to figure that kind of work out. And our guys is, and that 33 member consists of, again, I keep having to circle back to politics, but all three slates is over there. You have green slates, you have red slates, and you have ample amount of blue slates involved. And we all are cordial when it come down to work. We know how to separate the politics, and that work is being achieved right now by the Teamsters, and I'm proud of all of those brothers.
Yeah. How does it feel to be back to work?
It actually, because I had so many years of seniority, I had a pretty kickback job before I left. So trust me, brother, being a business agent is something if you're not into it.
No, yeah. I was at one of the meetings where we had, I would call him a friend. Man, I always get with names for Southern Wine. Who was on the board with you for the negotiations? Lopez, yeah.
And
Antonio Lopez. I know. I'm bad with names. I said it last show, you guys, I'm bad. When I'm on the mic, I start forgetting because I'm thinking about questions. Yeah, Antonio Lopez, shout out to him, dude. That's a really good dude. I remember when I just started the show and I started talking about union stuff, he reached out to me on Instagram. I says, well, come down. And I didn't know he came all the way down from Big Bear. He fucking drove down like 5 a.m, just fucking plowing through, and he's a really good dude. And to hear him on the mic and talk about the contract and shit, you guys' contract is, I would say, better or we're pretty even as a UPS contract. You know, as far as pension and hourly rate and stuff like that, they got taken care of, and I'm glad he was on the board to help you and learn that, and you were there for him every walk of the way, because you deserve a lot of credit for that, because that's a really good contract.
Absolutely, man. We had our sister Kia for RNDC. Erica was on the board, and Antonio was very instrumental. And as a shop steward, that guy is phenomenal.
Yeah,
you know, and that's one of the things I've always done as a business agent. I didn't just represent our members. I actually built relationships with a lot of these people outside of work, respectfully, you know. But yeah, he definitely is a strong shop steward in the workplace, well respected, and yeah.
All right, let's go back to Juan. Juan's over here. Got to get you going. Juan, so you were a BA for the administration. What changed your mind? What happened to where you had to step down, and you're driving now?
I'm driving now, yes.
Okay.
Back on the truck.
Well, what center?
Co-center.
Okay. So you don't have a route, do you?
I do have a route.
Oh, you got a route. Yeah. Okay. So stepping down and coming back, I mean, it's hard for a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's got to be hard from doing. I mean, our job's tough. You know, I talk about my job all the time on the show. It's tough. You know, like I talked about my health, complications I've gone through, getting healthy again, strength training and just rehabilitating. And then on top of it, I had a nice Wally run. I was doing four bulk stops, 4 pickups, and that was my day. And I ended up getting super fat, 250 pounds, and just
You gained weight
lazy.
driving?
Yeah, I had a Wally run. And then that's I got.
I'm the
sick.
only one here that don't speak.
So
UPS.
what Steven is saying is a Wally run is it's not like your typical package truck route where you're constantly in and out of the truck 300-400 times a day.
Yeah.
For him, it's probably maybe somewhere around the ballpark of 80 times maybe.
No, a Wally run. I was
even
doing,
less than that, right?
I was doing 4 bulk stops.
So-
I'd roll up to the dock. Go ahead.
Sorry, brother.
Yeah.
So 4 bulk stops means anything that's
100
got
packages.
100 packages going to one
100
stop.
plus, yeah.
So he had 4 of those, and then he had 4 pickups.
And those
So-
4 pickups were basically like, you could call me mini feeder because I would roll pallets in with the pallet jack and just load up pallets into this moving truck. You know what I mean? You've seen the UPS Wallies, those big old monsters driving around. Like we would just roll pallets, or we could brick load it. It all depends, what type of pickups we're doing. So I took that route. They called it a retirement route. But when I took that route, it was because I was coaching too. So I was able to get off at 5:30 and then go coach. So I took the route. I was just doing 8 hours, sometimes 7.5, and just opt out because I went to go coach. Same time, I was losing weight. Gaining weight because my body wasn't only doing 4 pickups. 4 deliveries using a hand cart, to unload. Mostly it was T-shirt boxes. So they could range from 35 to 55 pounds. And so I would find the easiest way to do it, dude. I'd put them on pallets, roll the pallets out. Some places I'd have to hand them out manually. But I gained a lot of weight, got sick, and ended up having myocarditis and heart failure. So I took another route, a route that I'm on now. I'm in the hills, North Tustin Hills, even though they call it North Tustin, it's still considered Santa Ana because of the zip code 92705. I took that route when I came back to work because I needed to move. I said, you know what? I need to move. I need to get the heart pumping. I need to stay active. So I took that route, and that's where I'm at now, where I'm walking a lot. And I'm sorry, you guys, about the airplane. You guys are gonna be able to hear that too. So that's where I'm at now. But going back to you being a BA, not having to do any, I don't know if you want to call it hard labor, but getting in and out of the truck all day. You went from being a BA, going and, sitting down and talking with the managers and defending drivers and this and that. That has to be hard. Like I'm going to go from not working hard labor, and I'm going to go to defending drivers and then going back to I got to get in and out of this truck all day long. It had to be something serious where you're like, F this, I'm out. I'm going to go back to package. What made that happen for you?
The reason for that is I was going through some serious personal issues.
Mm-hmm.
Going through, I know a lot of people are going to know what that was. And, after 25 years of marriage, and out of nowhere, she decides that she no longer wants to be married anymore. It kind of hit me hard and unexpected. And I couldn't focus on the membership like I needed to. I noticed that I didn't want the membership to suffer because of what I was going through. I had asked for some time off to get my personal life back in order and get refocused on the membership. And unfortunately, that wasn't given to me. So I had no choice but to go back to the truck.
Mm-hmm.
So, and going back to the truck, to me, it's a job.
Mm-hmm.
Physical or not, I'm the type of person that's like, I'm going to do the job.
So now you're running, you're saying, you know what, I'm going to run. I'm good. Everything's going good. I'm running again. What are you going to bring to the table for the members? You know, what are you going to do different compared to, you know, the administration we have today?
The difference is going to be that I'm going to, listen to the members.
Mm-hmm.
Being a shop steward, for 11 years, you learn, how to talk to the members. You learn to listen, and you learn to be a mediator between the company and the member. What they're looking for is for someone that they feel has their back. And I strongly feel that that's what we're going to bring to the table. Someone that they know has their back and not feel abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
And being there for a short period of time as a BA, I'm not going to go in there green or blindsided. I know what to expect. I know what to do. And that's gonna be my goal. Is just to make sure that the members feel that they're being taken care of to the best of our ability.
Now I know you talk to a lot of members. You know, they know who you are
Right.
in Laguna de Gal. Shout out to Laguna de Gal. Those guys are a bunch of hard workers. A lot of deliveries over there. You've gone, you've come, you've seen it. You're saying I can do a better job than who's in charge right now, the BA in charge right now.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Let's see. What else have we got going on?
Well, I would like to respond to that.
Yeah, go.
I remember that.
Go ahead. I'm going to use your restroom real quick. You guys go ahead.
I remember that day when Juan left. And, he was one of many of the business agents there that I had a good rapport with. And I wasn't too happy about that as far as him leaving. But, people got to do what they got to do at certain times. But I have the same vision Juan have. I know my work ethic as a shop steward before I got down to the local, how much effort I put into representing our members. I took that same effort down to the local and became a business agent and showed consistency with all of my accounts. Continue to fight for our members, continue to be present, and continue to be honest. And that's what they've always received from me, which is why I still communicate with a lot of my members that I used to represent. And back in Irvine right now, that same presence is still displayed in me. One thing about me is I have strong character and a lot of pride, self-pride. So I'm not really into compromising my own dignity to fit in certain circles. I'm not into ruining my rep to keep a job or a title. I'm accustomed to speaking my mind, and that could be something seen as negative for me, that I don't know how to hold my tongue. I don't know how to go along to get along, and I don't fit in yes circles well. I never have. So that could be something that's looked at as a weak point on me, but that's just one of my many flaws, I guess, as a human. But I will say that in my tenure as a business agent, I actually did learn a lot. I knew a lot of business agents and secretary treasurers from other locals before I became a business agent, and I have a great rapport with most of the ones who are under Joint Council 42 and outside. Being proactive with the TNBC, which is another whole topic of men and women who have strengthened me and guided me, and I just sit back and watch how successful they have, how successful many people have become who are a part of that, and it did nothing but drive me to want to continue moving forward. I know I have a lot to offer to our members. I know the direction I would like to take Local 952. I know what image I would like for our local to have. And I want our members to get back comfortable coming down to the local. I want them to feel proud of the representation that shows up on behalf of them up in the workplace. Image is everything. You know, I want us to speak a certain way. I want us to look a certain way. I want us to be more attentive to our members. That can happen because I've always displayed that. If you've attended any of our general membership meetings, character is everything to me. You know, I'm not here to bash our current administration. I'm still part of that administration. The members put me in that position for a reason. I'm not going to quit because of some disagreements I have with certain people. But one thing I've never done up at that podium was use profanity.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. I've never gave a business agent report and used profanity on the mic because I know women and kids are there.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that,
I used to take my kids.
Yeah. And every time I hear F-bombs and everything spew out of people's mouth, I mean, if we're doing it from an administration side, who are we to shame the members when they get up and do it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want people to speak their mind. We know sometimes it come out through passion because we are passionate Teamsters, so we do speak with a lot of aggression, but also we have to be mindful that there's a certain level of professionalism that we all should be in, that we all should display, whether we're at a general membership meeting or at a conference with a company. We represent the members, period. And that's just one of many things I would like to change, that whole culture and the atmosphere and being hands-on. I don't recall ever seeing a demand for new shop stewards at so many companies at once. And right now we have a high level of that. People aren't happy with their current stewards, and this isn't views and opinions of Danny Herbert. This is members showing up at general membership meetings with petitions, but they're coming asking for elections before it get to the petition level. So, I mean, these are all serious issues that I would take serious as a secretary-treasurer. I would already be over there finding out what's going on, what's the problem, and regardless of the relationship I have with certain shop stewards, if the members don't want you to represent them, then I feel it's my duty to look into a shop steward election. Now, I know we have scenarios where you may have one person that just don't like somebody. That's totally different. Mm-hmm. But when you get to the point of a petition, that's the member's voice. There's no way around that. When an actual petition shows up and says, we collectively would like for the union to do this, how do you go around that? How do you get out of that? When you're supposed to be, when the members are supposed to be first. So, I mean, that's just one of many different things that I would do different. And I never really had that issue when I was a business agent. I made sure all of my stewards were doing what they were supposed to do. I was reachable to a lot of my members if needed. And, I feel real comfortable where we at as a Slate. And if we do get an opportunity to represent our members, I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was, I've always supported Solidarity Slate. When I first started this podcast, Jimenez had just got in. He just got in, and he was going to be one of my, fifth, fourth, sixth guests, that coming on the show. And I was happy for him. I was like, hey, dude, congratulations. I'm just started a podcast. I would like to get you on. He says, let me get settled in. I'll get on. But then I started talking to people about it. I'm going to get Eric Jimenez on. And then that's when the gates flooded open. People were just, so many people wanted to come on and talk negative about him from their personal experience. And I did a few, But then, I started getting, people that supported, the members first Slate. And, so I had to start getting them on. This podcast, like I said earlier, I said it's not a Steven Gaxiola podcast. It's a the Raider and Saint podcast, and I know you guys wanted me to talk about that, because people want to know, who don't listen to all my shows. The Raider and Saint podcast initially started with me and my friend. Shout out to Chad. He was a bartender at Heroes, and when I would have a day off from work, I would go and have lunch over there. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Heroes. It's a nice bar and grill in downtown Fullerton. Really good food, good atmosphere. And I would go and sit there. Me and my wife, we would sit there. And we would have lunch. And I'd have a beer and hang out. But I noticed that I was always having really good conversations with this guy. And at the same time, I was in my mid 20s, and when you work really hard, right? Like for me, you guys listen to all my shows, that I got 2 college degrees. I've worked hard to get to a point where I was like, bought a home, and I was working, and like I accomplished those things. I was young, I was 28, and I was doing good. I was like, this is it. I'm a UPS driver now. I tried different things, but unfortunately, I had a kid when I was 21 years old, so I had to make money. I only had a limited amount of time, living with my parents to get out. I needed my own space, and so I busted my butt to get my own spot. Did that, became a driver. My wife was working. We were making good money. And like, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, I'm going to be a driver for the rest of my career for the next 25 years, like to me, it wasn't enough. To me, it was like, this is it. And I'm just going to work 25 years to be a driver, make good money. Like, I had money in the bank. It was good. Like I could do anything. What do you guys want to go on vacation? I could just buy a globe and spin it and just close my eyes and hit the globe and go, okay, we're going here for vacation. Like life was good, but to me, it wasn't enough. I was like this is it. I wanted to do more. And so sitting at the bar across, and I was like, I want to do something else. And I started listening to podcasts. And one of the first podcasts I was listening to was Joe Rogan. He had just started. And I was like, because I would listen to music all day long at work. Because, when you first start driving, you're working 12, 13 hours a day. And I would just listen to music all day long just to get me going. I just got burned out from listening to music. I'm like, okay, I need something else. And I stumbled upon podcasts. I'm like, what is this? What is this little button? It was a little purple button, on your iPhone. I clicked on it, and it was just podcasts. And one of them was Joe Rogan. I'm like, oh, okay, this is the Fear Factor guy. This is a UFC guy. I never knew he was a comedian. Clicked on it and started listening to him. And I was like, oh, I'm interested in aliens and all that stuff. So he had some guy named Stephen Greer on, I remember, and he was arguing with the guy. They were arguing this and that, and it intrigued me. And sitting across the bar, talking to Chad, and I was like, oh, well, what am I going to do? I'm like, I'm like, I got to do something else. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be a podcaster. I think I'm going to try podcasting. So I asked him, hey, you want to do a podcast together? And he goes, yeah, let's do it. And I had bought in the first on Amazon. It was like the starter kit for the podcast equipment. Actually, that's the mic right there from the first equipment I bought. And we did a couple trial runs, but we came up with the Raider Saint title because I was a Raiders fan. He was a Saints fan who was born and raised in Louisiana. He had just written his own book, called The Everyday Superman. Very smart guy. And we did a couple trial runs. And I had already told so many customers already that I was going to start a podcast. We had the title already. And we did a couple trial runs, and he says, okay, I'm not ready for this. He just, mentally, he just wasn't there. So I said, okay, we're not going, I'm not going to change the title. I'm going to keep it the same because the Raider is saying, think about the Raider. What's the Raider? I know people think about sports, right? The Raiders and the Saint. But the Raider, what is he? He's a pillager. He's a go-getter. He's going to take you out. He's a savage, right? And then the Saint. What's the Saint? He's a good guy. He's going to pray for you, do good things. So the Raider and the Saint is subcontext. It means, the good and the bad, right? And so that's why I kept the title. That's why it's called the Raider and the Saint. It's the good and the bad. And so that's, if people who listen to my show every day, they know, and they're probably going, I already heard this already. But for the new people tuning in, shout out to Albertsons. I know you reached out to me, and, the Albertsons guys that listen to the show. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. You guys are welcome to come on the show too. I love to hear people's stories. Everyone has a story, right? We go through life every day, struggling, going through things, and I'm really open on what I talk about on my show, and I'm open. I have no shame. I'm a human being. We're gonna live and we're gonna die. Maybe at the end of the day, what are we doing it for? For me, family. Family comes first, and then when you think about my union brothers and sisters, they're family, and we just want the best for them. And so you guys are running because you believe in that. Danny, we got to come back to you. You recently got demoted from BA. You're back in Albertsons. What happened with that, man? I mean, is it politics? I mean, is it personal? What happened?
So that's I don't know how to put my finger on that. It could be a combination of both. I'm not certain, but speaking on that issue right there, I would like to start off by saying to all of our members out there that know me and know me well, know that I've never misallocated any union funds in my life. That's just not even my style. I was terminated for that reason, according to our administration.
Can I say like the rumors I've heard?
Yes.
Okay, so one of the rumors I heard was, first one was that you had bought a laptop and you bought that laptop with union money, and you said you were using it for work, but yet you were taking it home. I heard that rumor. Another rumor was you had gone and you went to the Black Caucus, in Vegas, which, I think you do, every year. And you should have an allowance, and you had bought people dinner, but it wasn't, you weren't supposed to do it. So you were supposed to collect money, to pay them back. And I mean, I feel like it was just a setup because, they just went to Vegas. They took a bunch of people to Vegas. Did they all pay for it on their own? I know the women's caucus, they went to Puerto Rico. Did they all pay for it on their own too? Like, I don't know. I'm not in there. I don't know how the money's being spent, but, to me, it's like everyone should have some type of allowance because, I mean, man, they're driving fucking expensive trucks. They all got expensive trucks. Like, there's allowances being spent. I feel like it was finding a reason to get rid of you.
Well, probably 6 months before then, I had announced to the administration that I was no longer going to run with them on the third term. And it seems like from that point, everything just started going downhill. I was removed as the business agent in Irvine Grocery in the frozen department for absolutely no reasons at all. There was no pending grievances. There was no petition from the members to remove nothing outside of he just wanted to make a decision to remove me. And just several things started happening all the way up to the conference. When the conference hit, members had bought dinner to go. And we were in Vegas at that time, and they wasn't separating the bill individually. I think anything more than 2 or 3, they wasn't separating it. So I go with this group every year. I've been a part of the TNBC for over 10 years now. And yeah, I paid for their meal. Union members. No, we didn't sit down and have steak. I haven't eaten meat for over 15 years. I don't drink. So I'm not out partying on the union credit card, but I pay for those members' meal. Absolutely. So we have language in our company handbook that stated any unauthorized payment, the card holder is responsible for the balance. So I could have easily scraped that money back up from the members and made them, because most of those members turned in money at the end of the trip that would have covered it. But you know what? To keep all of the red tape down, I paid for it out of my pocket. Well, all of a sudden, that money is returned back to me that I paid, and I'm terminated for that reason in particular. That I put up a fuss, that I fight, that I post anything negative. No, because I knew it was coming. They were just trying to find a reason or an angle to assassinate my character, to put out negative information about me. I'm one of the few people who did keep their nose clean and stayed out of any smut or anything associated with our local, and I took a lot of pride in that. So that's how that incident happened. And then I find out later that it was a lot of people from different locals seemed to be targeted for attending that conference.
Why is that?
Well, because the TNBC was one of the first to come out and stand behind a candidate that was fighting for labor. And
Who was that candidate?
at that time, they was leaning more toward the Democratic side. And yeah, the TNBC came out and put their cards on the table, and then other locals and Joint Council and everyone else follow suit. And it seems like most people who attended that, there was a form of retaliation that followed, and I was one. And the 9 people that went, it was like they all was in favor of what was happening at the TNBC as well, you know. And yeah, I mean, it was a form of retaliation. Somebody had to bite the bullet for it, and I can take that on the chin. I'm a 56-year-old brother who grew up in the city of Compton, who used to run up in the streets at one point in time, and I think I can deal with some social media slander. And that's all it is. You may hear 10 to 15 different reasons why I was removed. That was the actual reason. And I still feel I have a lot to offer our members, which is one of the main reasons I wanted to put a slate together. The guys that I reached out to are all good quality guys that if I couldn't have ran with these guys, I don't know if I even would have put a slate together, because I know their character. Our vice president, Michael Geen, has been a stand-up guy. Juan, I've always liked his character. I like the rapport he's had. People cling to his character. So yeah, I reached out to certain people. I wasn't just starving for people to run with me on the slate and just reached out to anybody. I wanted people to have that was similar to me and going to bring the same qualities down to the locals that I'm going to bring.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And my apologies for digressing. I know you asked me one question and I digressed.
No,
it's
perfect.
Different topics.
No, I mean, you guys are here to speak on it. You guys are running. You know what I mean? I'm a podcaster. You guys are, you know, you're campaigning, and I'm, you know, like I said before, I told you on the phone, I'm a podcaster, and I got to give you guys your due diligence. You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm not
look.
CNN. I'm not Fox News. I'm not going to be one-sided. I got to give everybody the opportunity, you know, to speak how they
And I
feel.
don't want to take that for granted. I want to let you know that we openly appreciate the opportunity to come on here, especially with you openly saying a slate that you stood behind initially and continue to stand behind. But you still gave us a voice, gave us the opportunity to come on here and speak, and I want to thank you.
Yeah.
You know, that's all right.
No problem. I mean, you know, going back to, you know, supporting the Democrat Party, you know, obviously it seems that Sean O'Brien is, I don't know, riding the Trumper support. You know, he's going with the Republican Party. You know, they've well been known. Well, let's just not talk about the Republican Party. We'll talk about Donald Trump and you know, we'll label him out. you know, we know his history. We know he doesn't take care of unions. You know, he's had plenty of hotels he's opened, and he's anti-union. You know, he just got in there, and the first thing he did was he fired a couple of members from the NLRB, right? And, you know, people who are like, I get it, dude. You know, you're conservative, you have traditional values, and you're against, you know, gay marriage, sex changes and all that type of stuff. And so am I, you know. What do you guys think? If you guys were to get in there, are we going to support O'Brien? And like, what do you guys feel about O'Brien and how he's running the country? Anybody could go. What do you guys think?
The only thing that I can speak on is from what I know and what he's done as far as, you know, for us at UPS.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, are UPSers happy with them? Majority of them aren't happy, at least the ones that I've spoken to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't give us much or anything, really, in our pension, a pension raise. It froze. When we were outspoken, they said, hey, we'll possibly give you guys 25 cents. While in the meantime, East Coast got a nice, you know, raise in their pension. But what about us here in the West
And they also
Coast?
got bailed out too, right?
Of course, bailed out a couple times by our government.
Mm-hmm.
But out here in the West Coast, we feel like we got shafted in that area. So a lot of us are not too pleased with him right now.
Mm-hmm.
As far as politics, as far as him backing the Republican Party, I don't agree with it. But at the same time, we have to work with the people that are in there. We have to. To a certain degree, we have to. It's just like with us, right? It's, you know, whoever's is in charge of the administration, we got to work with them, whether we like them or not. We have to work with them. And then when it comes down time for the vote again, your vote is what speaks volumes. If you don't like the way he's running things, then vote him out. Let's vote him out. You know.
Did you? Let me ask you. Did you vote like when the delegates came around and we had either Ron Herrera or O'Brien? Who did you support at the time?
At the time, I supported. I said, you know, be honest. I supported O'Brien.
Yeah.
You know, because I wanted something new.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he seemed like he was new, and you know, his voice is loud.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was excited for it. You know, something new, something stronger than what Jimmy Hoffa brought.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jimmy Hoffa Jr. was more quiet, you know, more mellow. And here comes O'Brien with a big voice and wanted to make all kinds of changes. And I was for it. I was for, you know, making these changes and trying to make the union stronger again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird because, you know, O'Brien, you know, like I've said this on the show, like no matter who's in, who gets voted in, I still got to support him. You know, I support him. But he started his own podcast recently. Like, for example, we had Dana White on the show, the UFC president. And Dana, he's against, I wouldn't say against unions, but they've tried to unionize and they constantly put them down, you know, put the UFC fighters down, which I don't understand. I mean, you got MLB that are union, you got the NFL that's union, you got hockey that's union, you got a lot of pro sports that are union that, you know, these players, when they retire, they got a nice pension, you know, to fall back on, you know, regardless of what their pay rate is. And everybody he's had on the show seems to be anti-union, and it's just more for him. It's more looks, you know. Let me just get the looks. Let me get the likes. Let me get this and that. And I don't like that, dude. It's just like it upsets me. You know, I get pissed off sometimes. I'm like, hey, dude, you know, claim you got one. You said the Teamsters versus everybody. Well, Dana White would be somebody that's everybody. You know, like you have him on the show, but you listen to the show, and not once he's talking about fucking union. It's just about, let me just see how many likes I can get. Let me just It's about popularity and get people on board. I mean, I know, I get it. There's a lot of Teamsters that support Republican Party because of the conservative values. I get it. But at the end of the day, we can fight. You know, somebody told me the other day, they says, you know, I still vote Republican because at the end of the day, we can always fight, you know, against, Donald Trump and what he's doing to anti-union. But also at the same time, you can still vote Democrat and vote against, you know, if you feel, gay marriage or sex changes and, you know, having multiple people, you know, the what is it, the restrooms they have, or if you claim you're a girl, you could go in the restrooms. I'm against a lot of those things too. And they want to fight. And they're like, oh, well, we could just fight that, you know what I mean? We and later on we'll do this. But what I see from our president is just popularity, votes. You know, let me just get popular. You know, I know he did that. Who do you guys want? With the last presidential election, he did a online, you know, and I know he's seen how many people were voting for the right side, you know, the Republican side, and I think he's running with that. He's going, okay, well, I could get my votes if I start rolling with Trump, you know. But if you go online and you look at all the posts, the Teamsters posts or he posts, if you go read those comments, man, it's all negative stuff. And it's all real people that are pissed off, you know. Like I'm gonna tell you right here, like there shouldn't be just two parties like that. That's what we're thinking, just two parties. You know what I mean? There's got to be another party out there. You know, there's got to be something else out there that needs to step up. We're becoming a society where it's just you pick left or right. That's it, and it's not. There should be multiple avenues, you know, like with our election. Now we got 3 slates now. Everybody has their opinion and how they feel things should be run. And so I want to, ask you guys about that, you know, like, do we support him? I support him. He's my president. I don't like what he's doing. You know, I think he has a lot of power where he needs to just stand up. You know what I mean? You either going to stand up on top and yell and fight till the end and get voted out, or I'm just going to roll with the tide because I love staying in power. I love being in this position. And that's not a good look. You know, it's not a good look because there's people out here, you know, especially at UPS that you know, they're closing down hubs. You know, people are getting laid off, people are losing their jobs, but yet, you know, to him, everything's okay, you know. I want to talk about a little bit about CVS real quick. You know, this is a rumor that I've heard. You know, maybe you guys could, you know, we could talk a little bit about it, but we just recently had a contract for CVS, right? CVS said, okay, you have more members in the warehouse. They voted the contract through. From what I'm being told is that then you have the drivers and then the mechanics that are separate contracts. And from what I'm being told, the warehouse contract went through, but the mechanics and the drivers were being told that, listen, if you vote no, the warehouse will continue working. And that upsets me because next thing you know, you got our Secretary Treasurer holding a sign over there at Dr. Pepper saying scab. Wouldn't that consider you a scab if you're telling the members that?
So, unfortunately, I heard those same rumors also, that some people from the committee did put something out like that stating that it was a group of them told that. I wasn't a part of the committee, so I can't really elaborate on it. But, of course, I'm still part of this administration, so I hope it didn't go down like that. But as far as from what I've been hearing, there is rumors surfacing of something like that is going on. I'm pretty sure it's probably being investigated or people are looking into it. But if it did happen that way, that's not something that I agree with as far as bargaining contracts, especially in good faith. But you know, I'm pretty sure that the powers that be that investigate situations like that is keeping an eye on it, hopefully, and that mindset don't carry into the upcoming contracts. And if it did happen that way, our guys definitely was railroaded on that one. And I know a lot of those guys over there at CVS in the warehouse and the drivers. And yeah, that's an ugly rumor to have when we have a bunch of contracts still lined up that's coming down the pike. But hopefully we get to the bottom of that and find out if that actually happened and address it accordingly.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit if it's true. Okay, at this segment, we have questions from the Anaheim Hub that my assistant, James Nava, went out and got. You know, these are questions that I don't know, you know, but they're questions from members 952 out of Anaheim Twilight, right? James, let me get you the mic. Let me click you. Okay, go ahead. Whenever you're ready, James.
All right. Hello, guys. Great to have you on here.
Hey,
Thank
James.
you, brother.
Yeah. So the first question I have here is, what is your drive as a Slate? And overall, what is your goal?
My drive right now is the feedback that we're receiving from the members as we go out to campaign, listening to their testimonies, hearing their stories, listening to what they're going through. These are all fixable things that I feel that I specialized in when I was a business agent, and I can't wait to instill my way of dealing with the members on a full administration. That's what's driving me, knowing that our members want different, and they actually want it. We got a lot of good members at Local 952. I just have to be honest. Me being out there at all the different companies, that's one of the perks of being the vice president, is that I got to visit barns and talk to people that I didn't even have those accounts. And just like Steve say, I'm just as bad as him with names. I may not remember everybody's name, but it's a good feeling when people remember you. And we go out and visit these yards, and so that's what I would like to see. It's a lot of small fixable things that I think that we can achieve, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, and for me, I want to add this is same thing goes with me is our goals is to make sure that every member feels just as important as the next member. And as we go out and campaign and speaking to some of the members, it's funny how they all feel the same way. They all feel very disconnected to the current administration, to our local, and that's very unfortunate. We want the members to feel connected, and we want them to feel that the local is behind them at all times. So if any issues is raised, they want to know, they want to feel that it will be taken care of in a timely manner and not ignored.
Very good, guys. All right. Second question, and we'll start off with you, Juan. What will you change once you get elected into the local? What do you want to change? Like, what's the first thing?
The first thing we would like to change, at least for me, I would like to see, is the atmosphere in our local. We want to make sure that we make every member feel welcomed. We want them to know that their local, the local is their local as well. And open door policy. You know, if they speak up, we don't want them to feel like someone's going to boo them or they're going to be bullied. You know, the other thing too is obviously let's get rid of those gas guzzlers. You know, that's money that the members are paying for. The gasoline on those things. You know, those are the things that we want to change right off the bat. That they are the easiest to do. So,
Danny?
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off what Juan said, and one of my number one things would be to be more transparent with our members, whether in the workplace and at the local, letting him have more of a opinion on what financial decisions that we make at the local. and taking their opinions into consideration as far as who represent them at their barns. Right now, while we're out campaigning, one of the leading things is they have issues with their business agent. And we have a system in place. We have coordinators, we have secretary treasurers who are supposed to adhere to those issues, take those into consideration. But right now, we have members from different industries, from bus driving to school bus drivers to OCTA, who are following the chain of command. And that's some of the stuff that's upsetting to me, seeing, for example, ladies from Durham show up and they follow the chain of command. They bring their issues to their shop steward. They bring the issue to their business agent. They bring the issue to their secretary treasurer. And yet, from what I'm being told by them, they're being riddled with statements like, being called rats and snitches. So stuff like that, just communication issues that I feel that, like I said earlier, we have a certain level of professionalism we have to display when dealing with our members. And I think we're lacking that in a lot of different areas.
Oh, hold on. Let me get you. There you go. You good?
Very good. Third question. We'll start off with Danny. One of the big issues that a lot of people have come up to me, this was actually more than one person, that they have with our current administration is they feel like the BAs don't really understand the contract. Like they don't really know what's up with it. Like sometimes I've seen it where you'll have to educate them on the contract. And I'm very curious, you're from Albertsons. How well do you know about the contract, and have you gone through it very well? Are you very well spoken on it?
So not only Albertson's contract, but many other contracts. That's one thing. Being a shop steward for 10 years, that was like a hobby of fun for me and some of the members. You catch one thing about the grocery industry, and this administration will find out in upcoming contract negotiations. A lot of people in grocery are very contractually savvy. You can't pull the wool over these guys' eyes. They know contractual language. We have contractual exercise, steel sharpens steel battles on a daily basis in there. I mean, we love reading the contract. We love critical thinking. And yeah, we actually looking forward to it. But as far as our shop stewards, our business agents knowing contractual language, that's important, especially when you're going into a grievance meeting, which could potentially escalate to arbitrations. If you don't know the language, you can't sit back and lean on the company attorneys to address everything for you. You at least got to know how to, if you're not at the point of resolving the issue before a grievance meeting or during a grievance meeting, then it's time to question your ability as a business agent.
I agree with everything that Danny said. We should, as a business agent, you always want to keep up with your contract and the changes that are being made. Because we're always learning. As a business agent, as a shop steward, we're always learning because things are always changing. Of course, when we come out of UPS, there's or any industry, I would think there's certain things that are always coming up, right? And those are the basic stuff that everybody knows. But there's other stuff in there that everybody should be knowledgeable in, and that is our responsibility as a business agent, is to stay up on the contract. So when the members come up to us and ask us a question, we know how to respond. And at the same time, being a shop steward for 11 years, I have always tried to keep the members informed and giving them a contract and said, hey, make sure you read this. Don't just depend on us stewards.
Are you a shop steward right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't always just depend on the stewards, to give you all the information. Everybody should be knowledgeable and read up on the contract. Because just like you said, you might get a person that doesn't really know certain language in the contract. So
Very good response. Fourth question, and this one I got asked, and it's a very interesting one. You guys want to get Eric, the members first out, right? Well, a big question that people heard, that people were asking was, why didn't you guys want to merge with Solidarity? And what are the difference between you and Solidarity? We know the differences between you.
I was going to be my question, but go ahead. Yeah, that's
members
fine.
first. Well, what's the difference?
okay, so as far as the merger, I did reach out to Wayne and asked if we could have a sit down. Unfortunately, he, because I know that there's some members out there that has reached out to me and said, "Hey, why don't you guys have a sit down with Solidarity?" So I did, and unfortunately, they felt that the members this is not something that was coming from the members. They felt like this was coming from somewhere else, and they weren't willing to entertain sitting down with us. And for me, that's very unfortunate, because I would have really loved to sit down and see what we can make happen. Because at the end of the day, it's our goal is to get the current administration out and get new change in there. As far as the difference, I can't speak so much on the difference because I don't know them as personally as I do the current administration, and I know what they're doing. I can only speak on what we want to do and what our goals are.
Good. Danny?
Oh boy. So I did reach out to those gentlemen way back in November. Being on the slate that ran against them in the previous administration, you never expect that conversation to go smooth. But I don't know if everybody know the history of me and Carlos, that's another topic. But we see each other every day at work. We're cordial. We speak, and we all come up under the same umbrella. We both was, trained and educated on being the shop steward from Francophore from Local 630. So we both are some of his students in one way or another. But as far as us merging, it's funny that that's the last question of the day, because as we're out campaigning, especially in the grocery industry, we all been working together for 30 years or more. The people who are wearing our shirts, they know us all. We've all been friends. We've all worked together, and that's kind of the question that's always out there. Like, man, I'm friends with both of y'all. I don't know who to support. You've been a good business agent for us, Danny. We all know Carlos. Why don't y'all merge? I mean, I don't think y'all would believe me if I tell y'all how often we have heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my response is not totally, do you feel we should merge because you don't feel Dignity and Pride Slate is strong enough? Or because you feel that would give us a higher percentage chance of winning the election? And being the person who's sitting in the seat that's running for Secretary Treasurer, I can say with a straight face, I'm very comfortable of our odds and chances on running our slate by ourselves. However, I am still open to sit down and have a discussion with anyone from that slate if they ever want to sit down and have a talk.
Very good response. Yeah, a lot of people were very curious about that one. All right, and this one is my own personal question, and we'll start off with Danny. Yes. One of the big reasons why Members First and Eric were able to win was they campaigned very well with Albertsons and CVS, and they had a very good relationship with them because over here at our hub, no one even really votes that much, which we have to change. It's a whole thing. But a lot of people at our hub overall didn't vote, especially last time, for them. So I'm very curious, my question basically for you guys is, what's your relationship with Albertsons and CVS? And I'll ask you, because you're more of a Albertsons guy, what's your relationship with UPS and the members there?
I want to make sure I answer it correctly. What's my relationship with Albertsons or UPS?
Basically all of them.
Oh, okay. So I am limited on my relationship with UPS, especially their contract. Jesus. I don't think out of any of our companies do we have a contract remotely close to UPS's contract.
No, Southern Wine. I would argue that one.
Oh,
You guys
no,
got a really good contract.
No, what I mean
Oh,
by
like
how big it is.
Oh, yeah.
How thick it is. I mean, that contract is crazy. That industry is crazy by itself as far as being a representative. The amount of grievances that come out of there you can't just hire anyone off the street to be a UPS business agent. They got to know that industry, know the members, know management and the companies, and I'm very limited on that. However, that's why I will make sure I will put people around me that is familiar with it, that knows that industry, and that can adhere to those members' needs. However, I do remember back in 2019 when we were campaigning with CVS, and I've seen them do a 180 from their involvement and how proactive that they were with the union. A young man by the name of Emerson Diaz started lighting that fire during our first term. When I mention Emerson, I have no choice but to think about all the other business agents that we lost that actually made our Slate what it was initially. You know, we've lost a good contract negotiator in Ruben Lopez. We lost our political outreach from Norma Lopez. We've lost Emerson and his knowledge and pension, and I mean, the list goes on, but I'm digressing again. So as far as CVS, I'm very impressed with how proactive they are right now. But Albertsons is Albertsons. I mean, we came from Local 630 with a good group of members that influenced the 952 Albertsons members to start approaching the union from this way. And when people use that term lightly, powerhouse, but the Albertsons people, they take administration serious. And if you're not standing on what you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, they have a way of letting you know that when election time comes. I had a lot of them standing behind me when we first ran in 2019 in Brea and Irvine. And when I was removed, they did get a petition in Brea and Irvine to have me reinstated. And the pour out of support coming out of Brea in support of this slate has been overwhelming. And I have to keep pointing out Brea because I didn't work in Brea. I only know those guys because I worked with them in Santa Fe Springs under Local 630. So the grocery vote is very strong and influential when it comes down to Local 952. But I have been hearing a lot about UPS in this upcoming election. You know, I'll tell you this from my observation on UPS. When UPS don't want you in office, you're not going to be in office. And there were slates who ran before we transferred here, and UPS made sure that they wasn't in office. There was a grocery vote that came over and put this slate in office. Well, UPS got a way of reminding you how strong they are. And these are things that I've viewed. When the strike vote came up, we have all of these companies at Local 952, but who came and voted the strongest? UPS. And I heard that they were going to do that. Well, now I'm hearing how they're going to vote in this upcoming election. This upcoming election, UPS, I feel is going to show out. And that's just not, again, the views of Danny Herbert. That's other locals outside of 952 is saying the same thing. So it should be pretty interesting.
Juan, same question.
when it comes down to UPS, it's trying to get the membership more involved. I've come to notice in the past we weren't as involved in the union politics or union, whatever was going on within the union, and I'm seeing a change. I'm seeing a change and more so in the part-time side. I'm seeing it, especially in Laguna. They're more outspoken. They see what's going on. They see how, hey, don't forget about us because we can outnumber you full-timers. And what it pretty much comes down to is making sure that we show them how important it is for them to be involved in every aspect of being a Teamster, being a union member. How important it is to vote. One thing I will always tell them is say, hey, when they're outspoken about something, did you vote? No, I didn't. Why not? Because I didn't think my vote counted. Your vote counts. Your vote is your voice, especially when it comes down to matters like this. So So for me, it's getting them involved. It's showing them how important it is for them to get involved, and making sure that they understand that they're being involved. We secure our future because they're, when you start as a part-timer and you're not acknowledged, you're not kept up or informed on how important the pension is, how important it is for them to get involved in your union. That's kind of scary if they're not being informed, because for us, it's like anything, right? You're coming up in the ranks. If you don't know about a pension or how important that is for your future, if these part-timers just care about, hey, I just want more money in my hourly, what's going to happen to our pension in the near future, right? So that's why for me, it's very important that we keep them informed and keep them active and have them come down to the hall and speak up and see how that environment is.
Thank you. Really good answer. I'm just going to end it with, I'm in the building a lot. I hear a lot of things. This is a very important election. I really hope that we get to see you guys over there and you can, you can really introduce yourselves to them one day. And thank you guys for answering my questions.
Thank you.
That's James Nava. He's my new associate with the podcast. Thank you so much, James. You did really good. We appreciate you for that. Listen, guys, I mean, we could talk all day. I mean, I got stuff I could talk about all day. We just had, I guess we could talk about this real quick before we get out of here. One thing that's important to me is the member's voice. And when it comes to members' voice, we talk about, right, voting for our shop stewards. And this administration, appoints, for my center alone, they appointed, we had a fight, to have votes, for our shop stewards. And the tail end, we got appointed shop stewards, alternate shop stewards were being appointed. And it upsets me because we've had one got fired in the past for stealing time. We have another one that just got fired, just went to panel. Now it's going to arbitration. And those things upset me. It's like, you guys are in charge. And the things you're doing is making you guys look bad. You know what I mean? I could say if we voted in these alternate shop stewards and then they got fired, then you put the blame on us. Put the blame on the members. But that blame goes on you because you appointed these guys. And that upsets me. It's like, hey, dude, let us vote in our own alternate shop stewards as well. It's just, I see like you're just going to appoint people. Like, why are you appointing people? Is it for votes? I could tell this guy what to do. He's going to do it, so we could stay in charge. We could keep the power. Like the power is supposed to be for the rank and file members. It's supposed to be to us. That's where our union dues go to. But when you do things like this and then it shows the choices you're making as a leader and they're not looking good, I'm sorry. I can't vote for you. You know, you're everything you're doing, it's coming to light. And I don't like that. You know, we should be able to vote. Like I talk to other locals and they go, "You're crazy." What? They're appointing people. No, you should be voting the rank and file to vote them in. And that's one thing that's upset me, you know me, because like these two guys I got fired, I'm like, they're good friends of mine. I like them, you know, I respect them, you know, but they got appointed. We need to start fucking voting. We need to start going in there. Like for my center, Tesla Center, we should, hey, let's vote for alternate shop stewards. And guess what? I'm going to put my name on. And I know, I'm sorry, guys. If you listen to my show, I've been through some health issues. But I'm ready to step up. I'm ready to put my name on this ballot and be an alternate shop steward to help the members. Because I'm tired of seeing people getting fired, getting bullied. You know, we're going through some tough times right now. If you know, Juan, and this month of May, they're trying to implement AI. And so my route's been really busy. And I get it. The company's going to do what they need to do to make their money. I get it. I'm there to work too. But we need leaders in there. We don't need people that are appointed that are just doing it for the title, for the show. Look I'm here. This is what I'm going to do. Thank you, guys. And like, I'm here. I'm going to put my name on a ballot if we get a vote. And I'm going to put my name on to be a shop steward alternate. Nice. You know, I'm here to help people. You know, that's what the show is about. It's not here to talk shit. I've had people come on and talk shit and express their opinions, and it's pissed off a lot of people. But on this show, man, everyone has their right to express their feelings, you know, and it is what it is at the end of the day.
So one thing, well, first of all, I agree. And yeah, I would like to see you step up and be an alternate steward, man. I think that'd be real cool. One of the things that I did as a business agent is for Southern Wine, over where Antonio is, who, by the way, when the conversation we had earlier about reading contracts, that young man is in my top 3 shop stewards for knowing contractual language. I mean, he's the Book of Eli. And we have a few more of them in grocery, but Arnold Youngblood and all of those, Jose Valencia, all of these guys is just it all stays up here. Ray Oriente, these are all guys who just sleep and eat contractual language. Real weirdos, bro, but they solid. But as far as shop stewards, man, in grocery, before I became the business agent, we had 6. And when I left, we had 13 shop stewards. In Irvine, that's just Irvine only. Because I'm not scared of shop stewards. I'm not scared to have elections. I'm not scared of people that want to step up. We had shop stewards in departments where we didn't have any. On shifts where we didn't have any. Even over there where Antonio is, he was the only steward initially. I ended up giving him an alternate steward. So the more people that want to step up and have a voice and the members want to stand behind, it's always better. I don't see why we should be putting people in positions that the members feel aren't in their best interest. Don't make decisions in their best interest. And the administration shouldn't be in fear of someone being a shop steward that don't support them politically. And that's one of the issues that we're running across right now. The refusal to have shop steward elections. We are shuffling stewards from different shifts onto other shifts where they wasn't even voted in on, and people still come to me as if I'm the business agent, and I don't mind because that's just my character in the workplace.
Yeah, my loyalty would be, it's not to the local, it's to the members.
Yeah,
you know, if I decide to put my name on that ballot, my loyalty isn't to the administration; it's to the workers.
Yeah,
and the people they appoint, you know, don't think like that. They think it's, you know, their loyalties to the administration. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do whatever I'm told. No, here's the fucking contract. I'm going to read the contract
I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna try my best to save this guy a job or save him from getting written up or whatever. And I've been at UPS for 26 years, and I feel like I hate to see people lose their jobs. This person just lost his job. One of my good coworkers delivers to him, and he had a good conversation with them, and it just sucks to see how it went down. I wish I could have helped him. I did offer some help. A couple weeks prior, what he was going through, but yeah, I'm here to help. I'm here to do my due diligence. But once again, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show, man. Before we get out of here, you got anything you got to say before we get out of here?
For me,
I'll
I
close
just
out.
okay. For me, I just want to say, look, we are here to make a change. We're not here to play around in it. We're here to give the members what they want and to stop making them feel unheard, overlooked, and very disconnected from our local, from the union. And you're right, Stephen. At the end of the day, the local is supposed to back up the members, and we are working for the members. It's not the other way around. And we just want the members to know that we are here and we are here for their best interest. And I totally agree with you how you said about the whole shop steward thing. I agree with you 100%. And because that's another thing that has been voiced out in Laguna as well about alternates being voted in, not appointed. And I think that's smart. Because that gives the members the voice. And that's what we're about. We're about giving the members their voice back and not feeling pushed to the side if you don't, quote unquote, support members first. And they're tired of it. They're done. The members are done feeling pushed aside, and they want to do something about it now. And I me being the shop steward for 11 years and being with UPS for almost 30 now, I don't think I've ever seen so many part-timers be so outspoken like they are today. And that, to me, is amazing. Because now the part-timers have a voice, and they're speaking up. And I'm willing to back them up and do what they've always wanted to have done. In the past, we've always focused on the full-timers. That. The drivers. Don't worry about the part-timers. Let's just focus on the drivers. We can't have that happen no more. Everybody's a member, whether you're full-time, whether you're part-time. You're a Teamster, you're a member, we will take care of you. If you want to speak up, you're more than free. You'll feel more than free to speak up without feeling harassed. So I'll leave it at that.
So I want to thank you for having us on as well, man.
Yeah, anytime.
Again, opening up your home to us, letting us come on your platform and promote our slate, letting us reach the members. I know a lot of people do follow y'all, even outside of Local 952.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use this time to thank the TNBC for standing behind me and doing what they do for all our members over under Richard Teams. And I want to thank all of the companies under Local 952 for how acceptance they've been to us as we've been out campaigning in these yards. If there's any companies that we've missed in our campaign and that would like for us to visit, by all means, reach out to us on our social media platform, reach out to us on our website, and we'll be there. And if there's any companies that don't want us there, we'll be there. So I
So,
don't expect
yeah.
any. I actually don't expect any negative backlash. I've been
Well, how can they get over you? Say your Instagram, you got Facebook, website, say it.
Yeah, we have our Dignity and Pride Slate Instagram and Facebook. We have our website, which is www.dignitypride2025.com. Please and I'd like to thank everybody who's been donating. Thank you for all of your donations. Please continue to donate. You can donate on the page. We have our meet and greet coming up June 8th at the Boom Boom Room. The address is on the website. Please come out and meet your new administration. Talk to us. Take photos. You can donate as well. We'll have a raffle there. And just want to say thank you again for having us on.
No problem, man. I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. It was a really good discussion. I want to thank my listeners from around the world that tune in every week to the Rainer Say podcast. I love you guys, man. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys. Thank you guys for coming on. I love you guys. Let's keep it clean. No mud slinging. As they say, it's not about us. It's about the members.
Correct.
The members come first.
Correct.
And we haven't seen it. That's why we got two different slates, opposing. I wish you guys could come together. I mean, it's never too late, but that's for later discussion. But let's get this podcast out here, and I will see you guys. We'll keep in touch, and thank you guys for coming on the show, the Raider and Saint podcast.
Thank you for having us.
brother.
And one thing I want to say is this is just an introduction of us. And hopefully we can come back on here and maybe talk more of some serious issues.
Yeah, as it gets closer, we'll get it. We'll get it going for sure.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. I'm out of here. I'm out. Peace.